Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a romance guide for all of the romanceable characters in SunnySide. There really isn't a guide to romance per se. All there is to it is getting to know the characters by hanging out with them, preferably in their favorite places, getting to know their likes and dislikes, gifting them their favorite items, doing favors, and of course, matching their gender preferences. Here is all the information you're gonna need to romance each of the available characters. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the basics of romance, although there are many dateable characters in SunnySide, characters do have their own preferences for who they want to date, much like in real life, and they're looking for someone who fits those preferences. Characters are dateable if their gender preferences overlap with the gender range that you choose in the character creation, and the better match to their preference, the quicker you'll be able to build the romance relationship. One way to find out if a potential partner is interested in you is just to ask. After a few hangouts with a character, you'll have the option to confess to them or start a romantic relationship. Characters who are interested will either accept immediately or indicate that they are interested but not yet ready, in which case you'll need to continue building a relationship with them. The point at which characters accept confessions is different for everyone, with some accepting very early in the relationship and others needing much more time to say yes. In some cases, you might not even have to confess to the potential partner and they will ask you out. Characters who are not interested at all will indicate to you that you are not their type when you first confess. A good way to see if characters are interested in your character is to track the progress of your romantic relationship in Squirrel IM. Romance levels are indicated with butterflies. So here is that little butterfly chart to kind of show you that the character is interested in you romantically. Once your confession has been accepted, you can ask a new partner out on dates in addition to hangouts, and at first you can date multiple characters at once as you continue to get to know them. However, as you advance your relationship, you will eventually see an event where you are asked if you want to fully commit to that partner. There is a warning before you have to make this choice, as choosing to do so will automatically end all other relationships that you might be pursuing. You can also choose to end a relationship at any time, but if you choose to break up with someone, you'll lose the opportunity to date them in the future and the butterflies on the IM profile will disappear. So that basically covers, the basics of romance. Let's go ahead and jump into the dateable residents and talk a little bit about them. Starting off, we have Alan Ritz. Alan grew up on the East Coast of the United States, but beyond that and his love for running, no one in SunnySide knows anything about him. He showed up in town about a year ago and can often be seen running around the trails in the neighboring countryside. But Josh Newcomb seems to be the only one he ever talks to. He's nice enough, sometimes even overly humble, and the women in town certainly love him. But other than that, he's a complete mystery. Alan likes history, animals, and learning new things. He dislikes verbal arguments and disrespectful people. His hobbies include running, hiking, exploring, reading, and hanging out at Josh's. His favorite foods are sushi or a good burger. As far as where Alan likes to hang out, he loves all possible locations to go for a run together, going for a long hike at Higashi Campground, or playing with the animals at Higashi Pet Rescue. He'll say, "I didn't realize I could have so much fun. Thank you." That's how you'll know he loved it. He likes having dinner at his home, getting drinks at the Never Fret pub, and chatting at the tea house. He is neutral about going shopping at Debonair, getting coffee at Naka, and having tea at the tea house. He dislikes going to see any horror movies at Real Good Films. Alan is really, really sweet and kind of underrated, though it would never work between us because if he can't watch a horror movie with me, no way. As far as the gifts that he likes, we don't have too much information here. We know that he is neutral about custard takoyaki, large iced coffee, and strawberry lemonade, but we don't know what he loves, likes, or dislikes. Next, we have Anahita Watanabe. Anahita, like her younger brother Parsa, was born and raised in SunnySide. Her father Soda is Japanese and her mother Shadi immigrated to SunnySide from Iran. Naturally intelligent, she has no problem living up to the lofty expectations set by her parents, even going so far as to graduate from high school and university each a year early. She now works as a research assistant in the university's Botany Research Center in SunnySide. Though she doesn't care much for the subject matter, she does enjoy the challenge. Despite her success, however, her traditional mother still won't seem satisfied until Anahita finds herself a suitable husband. Anahita was named after the Iranian goddess Anahita. She loves solving puzzles, lively debates, and teaching people new things. She dislikes small talk, liars, and wearing a lab coat. Her hobbies include listening to podcasts, doing Sudoku, and intricate embroidery. Her favorite foods are sour candy and Sebastian's coffee. As far as where she likes to hang out, Anahita loves to hang out at all possible locations where you can read together. She loves getting coffee at Naka, getting drinks at the Never Fret pub, and going for a walk at the SunnySide Promenade. She'll say, "Thanks for helping me get away. That was honestly a lot of fun." That means she loved it. She likes getting dinner at Naka, playing in the arcade at the Never Fret pub, and having tea at the tea house. She is neutral about watching a movie at her own house, and she dislikes having a chat at the tea house. As far as the gifts that she likes, she loves sunflowers, and she is neutral about large iced coffee, medium coffee, yellow rose, and strawberries. We don't have any information about what she dislikes. Next, we have Blake Ortiz. Blake grew up in California in the United States. She is one of Hanako's very few friends. The two met when Hanako spent a year studying abroad as a teen, and they became fast and firm friends. Blake moved to Japan after high school so they could go to med school together. They are now completing their medical residency together under Mayumi's watchful eye. Blake is very quiet and sweet and tends to avoid confrontation. She's determined to become an incredible doctor someday, but once she met her goal of getting to Japan, she started realizing that dreams aren't always what you expect them to be. Blake likes the colors blue and pink, fluffy things, and kindness. She dislikes too many demands on her time and spicy foods. Her hobbies include watching Mexican soap operas, growing succulents, and geocaching. Her favorite foods are her mother's sweet tamales and homemade horchata and fried rice. As far as the places Blake likes to hang out, she loves going for a walk at the Kabuya River, having a chat and tea at the tea house, and playing with the animals at Higashi Rescue. She'll say, "That was a blast. Thanks for hanging out with me," meaning she loved it. She likes getting coffee at Naka, getting drinks and playing in the arcade at the Never Fret pub, and hanging out at Futagawa Park. She also likes seeing comedies at Real Good Films. We don't have information on her neutral or dislikes. As far as gifts, not a whole lot of information is known here yet. She loves large iced coffee. She'll say, "A gift, this is thoughtful, thanks." And she's neutral about Happy Sharky Plushie-chan. That's all we really know about Blake's gifts so far. Moving on, we have Fuyukaze Obeng. Fuyukaze was born and raised in New Jersey in the United States and didn't move to Japan until he was about 10. It took him some time to adjust to the new schools and new people, and even longer to learn Japanese. Fuyu was never really popular, nor was he exactly an outcast, but he kind of just always floated in the middle of school and social hierarchy. He's never been super passionate about anything either, but he does enjoy music, a gift he shares with his mother, and he hopes that it will be enough to carve out a simple and happy life in Sunnyside. Fuku loves winter, snow, video games, and walking around town. He dislikes heat, exercising, and overexerting himself in any way. His hobbies include gaming, watching TV, reading manga, and mixing music. His favorite food is shrimp. All things shrimp. He loves hanging out at all possible locations where you can listen to music and getting coffee at Naka. He'll say, "Man, that was a pretty good time." You'll know he loved it. He likes having tea at the tea house, hanging out at the SunnySide Promenade, and seeing a horror movie at Real Good Films. He is neutral about chatting at the tea house and going for a walk at the Kabuya River. He'll just say, "That was cool." As far as the gifts that he likes, he loves mushrooms. He'll say, "Oh hey, that's pretty awesome. Thanks, I owe you one." We don't have information about like or dislike. He is neutral about meaty okonomiyaki and yakisoba. Moving on, we have my favorite romance option personally, and that is Gabriel Reed. Gabe was born and raised in Washington in the US and moved to Japan in his teens with his father, who was chasing a lucrative rugby career. A few years after their move, a horrible earthquake claimed his father's life and left Gabe stranded in a country far from home. Unsure about what to do with himself, Gabe spent a few years on the street before being taken in by a small family with some questionable affiliations. Many years and a very bumpy road later, Gabe turned up in Sunnyside with a young daughter and purchased some land to raise cattle and other animals. Gabe loves peace and quiet, caring for animals, providing for Lucy, and anything that connects him to his American roots. He dislikes sudden change, noise, and not being appreciated. His hobbies include watching rugby and football matches, riding horses through the countryside, and woodcrafting. His favorite foods are hamburgers, soba, mochi, and watermelon. He's not the most friendly or patient guy in Sunnyside, but he's somehow always around when people need his help, which he will not so happily give. As far as his hangouts, Gabe loves to hang out at the Never Fret pub and get drinks, sit by the river at the Reed estate, volunteer together at Higashi Pet Rescue, all of the activities at Higashi Campground, seeing an action movie at Real Good Films, and having a snowball fight at the park. He'll say, you know, that was actually a lot of fun, let's definitely do that again. That's how you know he loved it. He likes playing with the animals at Higashi Pet Rescue, going for a walk at the Kabuya River, hanging out at the Never Fret pub, going fishing at Rockin' Lake, going fishing at the Sunnyside Promenade, having tea at the tea house, and hanging out at Umi Park. He is neutral about chatting at the tea house. He'll say, alright, well, thanks for taking the time. And he dislikes going shopping at Debonair and seeing a romantic movie at Real Good Films. Alright, and then as far as gifts go, he loves anything really related to dragons. He loves dragon fruit, dragon plushie chons, and the stone dragon statue from Ladybug Delight. He'll say, you got me a gift? I don't know what to say. This is amazing, thank you. As far as what he's neutral on, apple juice and a small iced coffee, and we don't really know what he dislikes as of yet. There's not a whole lot of information here just yet. Moving right along, we have Hideyo Yamaguchi. Though his family can trace their roots to the founding of Sunnyside, Hideyo didn't actually grow up there himself and only moved to town after his grandparents, longtime family owners of the Sunnyside Postal Office, since the town was first established during the Edo period. Sadly, they passed away, and Hideyo's mother has no interest in continuing the family post, so she left it to her son. Hideyo likes compliments, quality clothes, abstract ideas, and what-if situations. He dislikes being told what to do, ignored, or disrespected. His hobbies include poker, online shopping, reading the paper, and staying current on politics. His favorite food is fresh strawberries, snap peas, and high-end trade coffee. Hideyo loves hanging out and going shopping at Debonair, also picking out outfits. He'll say, what a spectacular outing, thanks for spending time with me, means he loved it. He likes getting lunch or dinner at Naka. He'll say, this might not be my favorite thing ever, but wasn't a bad time. He's neutral about getting drinks at the pub, and he dislikes all movies at Real Good Films. As far as the gifts that Hideyo likes, no surprise here, the thing that he loves the most is a diamond. He'll say, a gift? This is for me, how incredibly generous of you, thank you. He is neutral about strawberries and Takahashi strawberries. We don't have information about what he dislikes. Moving right along, we have Hanako Ishikawa. Hanako is the youngest granddaughter of Kazuki and Chio. She came to Sunnyside about a year ago to work through her medical residency with Blake at Mayumi's clinic, and she's not entirely thrilled about it. No one is really sure why she chose to study in Sunnyside when she could have picked any clinic or hospital in the city. Hanako likes quiet people and trying new things. She dislikes rigid structure, people trying to control her, and boring or repetitive work. Her hobbies include all social media, spending her days off in the city, and shopping. Hanako loves shopping and buying special outfits together at Debonair, chatting at the tea house, and she loves getting drinks at the Never Fret pub. She'll say, okay, even I could admit that was a good time, nice job. She likes having tea at the tea house, getting lunch at Naka, playing in the arcade or the coin machines at the pub, and going for a walk at the Kabuya River. She is neutral about getting dinner at Naka and hanging out at the Sunnyside Promenade. She'll just say meh. She dislikes horror movies, fishing at all locations, building a sandcastle at the promenade, and going camping at the Higashi Campground. As far as the gifts Hanako likes, she loves diamonds and red bean takoyaki. She likes yakisoba, and she's neutral about strawberries, canned coffee, mochi, honey, cumbers, tea, and amethyst. We don't have information about what she dislikes. Moving on to Hiro Iwasaki. No one knows much about Hiro's life before he came to Sunnyside 7 years ago to work in the tech shop that was owned by Sako's husband, Kyuji. When Kyuji passed away about a year ago, Sako asked Hiro to take over ownership as the two of them never had any children. Hiro dove headfirst into the new responsibility and has slowly grown more active in the affairs of Sunnyside ever since, determined to make the store, now named Tech Hero, more successful than ever. It's unknown what gives Hiro so much drive to succeed, and most of the town is convinced that he doesn't sleep. Hiro loves technology, economics, and convenience. He dislikes laziness, cooking, and politics. His hobbies include computers, keyboards, tinkering with robotics, and creating new phone apps. His favorite foods are milk bread, onigiri, bento boxes, and anything quick and easy. As for Hiro's hangouts, he loves racing drones together at the Kabuya River, playing in the arcade or checking out the coin machines at Never Fret Pub, getting noodles at Got Nudes, and having a romantic dinner at Naka. He'll say, actually, that was a ton of fun. Thanks for inviting me today. I had a blast. He likes having tea at the tea house, hanging out at the Never Fret Pub, going for a walk at the Kabuya River, and going shopping at Vinyl Fantasy, the record store. He is neutral about chatting at the tea house and getting drinks at the Never Fret Pub. As far as the gifts go, he loves the Happy Avocado plushie-chan and Sapphire. He'll say, wow, not only did you spend money on me, but you brought me something truly incredible. I'm touched, thank you. He likes lunch bentos. He is neutral about canned coffee, fruit salad, mochi, and small iced coffee. And we don't have information about what Hiro dislikes. Moving right along, we have Josh Newcomb. No one remembers how long Josh has been in SunnySide, and ever since he took over ownership of the bar on Main Street, he's always just kind of molded himself into the landscape of the town. He's a gentle man, but a bit of a free spirit who believes in trying everything at least once, always talking about how much life has to offer if you just give things a chance. He doesn't talk much about himself though, opting instead to always be an ear for everyone who needs a good venting session. And he's always careful to make sure everyone makes it home safe. He has a slight limp, but no one knows how he got it, and anyone who bothers to ask always gets a different story. Josh loves being around friends, listening to music, even crappy music, a well-mixed drink, and snowy weather. He dislikes people who hide from their own true nature, rain, and hipsters. His hobbies include playing his guitar, creating new drinks at the bar, and forcing people to try them. He's always drawing his next tattoo, but he never actually gets one. And his favorite food is pizza. Josh loves hanging out at Naka to get coffee, volunteering together at the pet rescue in Higashi, and getting noodles at Got Nudes. He'll say, what a blast, that was an awesome time. He likes having tea at the tea house and playing in the arcade at the pub. He's neutral about getting drinks and hanging out at the pub, and he dislikes taking a hike at the campgrounds or going for a walk at the river. As far as the gifts Josh likes, he loves dog water bowls. He'll say, I'm not really into gifts, but you sure know how to pick them. And he is neutral about beef karaoke, mochi, meaty okonomiyaki, and strawberry shaved ice. So next up we have Kaida Amaya. She is the caretaker of the shrine in SunnySide. Despite having lived in SunnySide for about 3 years now, Kaida still remains a bit of a mystery to the people of SunnySide. She was raised at one of the largest and most well-known Shinto shrines in Tokyo and moved to SunnySide on a whim not long after her father passed away, much to the surprise of her Kanushi mother. She performs her duties at SunnySide's shrine dutifully and can often be seen wandering around town and interacting with residents, though she never seems to make any effort to form friendships. She's quiet and observant, yet a little arrogant. She loves practicality, minimalism, and straightforward conversation. She dislikes not having alone time, liars, and excessive noise. Her hobbies include archery, reading, learning, and people watching. Her favorite foods are chocolate cake, rice pudding, and congee. Kaida loves hanging out at the SunnySide Promenade and Kokyo Park. She'll say, I had a great time, thanks for spending time with me. She likes having tea or a chat at the tea house, hanging out or playing in the arcade at the Never Fret Pub, and going for a walk at the Kabuya River. She is neutral about drinks and coin machines at the pub, and we don't have information about what she dislikes. We also don't have any information about her loved or liked gifts yet, but we do know that she is neutral about candy apples, mochi, and tiny strawberry cake. She does dislike coffee. Moving on to Katherine Takahashi. She is an art student at Higashi University. Kat was born in SunnySide along with her sister Natalie. They both spent their childhood living in the Takahashi family home, but their parents moved the family to the city when the SunnySide Elementary School shut down. Kat is now 19 and living in the Takahashi home again with her sister while they both attend university in the city. Against her parents' wishes, Kat is chasing a fine art degree with lofty dreams of becoming a famous artist one day. Because of this, you can often find her wandering around SunnySide with a sketch pad, looking for her next inspiration. Kat likes art of all kinds, long walks through nature, meeting new people, and helping others make connections. She dislikes judgmental people, overbearing tradition, and being controlled. Her hobbies include painting, long walks, and visiting museums in the city. Her favorite foods are lattes, strawberries, and super spicy ramen. Kat grows strawberries at her family home, and Kat likes to talk a lot. Her favorite places to hang out are going to be all possible locations to draw together, Naka to get coffee, playing in the arcade at Never Fret Pub, and chatting at the tea house. She'll say thanks so much for bringing me, that was so much fun. You'll know she loved it. She likes going camping at Takahashi campgrounds, going for a walk at the Kabuyu River, going to dinner or lunch at Naka, and having tea at the tea house. She is neutral about getting drinks at the pub, and she dislikes seeing horror movies at Real Good Films. Her most loved gifts are going to be a medium and large iced coffee and a ruby. She is neutral about edamame, fruit sandwich, nasturtium tea, and pecan pie. But moving right along, we have Kyle Sylvester, and Kyle maintains Sunnyside's harbor. He owns and operates the town's auto shop, as well as the bait and tackle shop where you can purchase fishing supplies. He was born and raised in the Caribbean and had a rather difficult and violent upbringing, but was able to find peace and comfort on his grandparents' farm as often as he could. A bit of a social outcast, he spends time picking up new hobbies and skills, hoping that being useful to people would make them more accepting of him. When he was 20, Kyle decided to try his hand at a life where no one knew him and he could get a fresh start. So he decided to travel the world a bit before finally settling in Sunnyside. He's been here for about 5 years now, but still can't seem to make friends. Often meaning well, but still somehow always doing the wrong thing. Kyle likes the quiet of the ocean, working with his hands, and fixing and tinkering with things. He dislikes anything slimy, big crowds, loud, pushy people, unnecessary violence, and alcohol abuse. His hobbies include fishing, gaming, and fixing things. His favorite foods are stewed peas and tea. Kyle's favorite places to hang out are the Sunnyside Promenade, going for a walk or going fishing, and hanging out at Umi Park. He'll say, hey, I had a great time today, thanks for hanging out with me, really. You'll know he loved it. He likes chatting and having tea at the tea house and hanging out at the Never Fret Pub, and he dislikes getting dinner at Naka. His favorite gifts are amethyst, yakisoba, and lures. And he's neutral about apple juice and strawberries. We don't have information on his dislike. I also really like Kyle. Okay, moving right along, we have Lucy Reed. This is, of course, Gabe's daughter. She wasn't born in Sunnyside, but it's all she's ever really known or remembers. Like her father, she doesn't really care much for loud noises or exciting environments, and often feels a bit overwhelmed by all the noises of the world. She prefers, however, to experience life through the protective lens of an old school camera gifted to her by Ryan all those years ago. Now 19, Lucy is struggling to decide what she's going to do with the rest of her life. To avoid the problem, she mostly spends her days with her friends or wandering around Sunnyside taking photos of whatever captures her eye. Lucy loves calming music, soft colors, and the way the light shines through windows. She dislikes crowds, cars, and being told what to do. Her favorite foods are noodles and potato chips, and her hobbies include photography, developing her own film, and testing new lens filters. Lucy loves hanging out at the Sunnyside Promenade to take pictures. She loves getting noodles at God Nudes and getting lunch at Naka. She likes having tea at the tea house, going for a walk at the Kabuyu River, and going shopping at Final Fantasy Records. She is neutral about getting drinks at the pub, and she dislikes seeing scary movies at Real Good Films and going fishing. Her favorite gift is a yellow rose. She is neutral about morisoba, miso udon, picky sticks, and strawberry lemonade. We don't have any information about what she dislikes. Next, we have Mayumi Okada. Mayumi is, of course, the town doctor. Mayumi is the only daughter of older parents and moved to Sunnyside 6 years ago. As the town's lead physician, she recently decided to take on a couple of medical residents from the university, and she feels it's her responsibility to make sure that they have the authentic student experience. She is dedicated to her work, strong-willed, and painfully honest. She believes in maintaining a balance between mind and body and often speaks very decisively. She is a welcome and highly respected addition to Sunnyside. Mayumi loves giving advice, taking care of the community, and stepping up as a leader. She dislikes laziness, dishonesty, lack of control, and disrespect. Her hobbies include yoga in the park, refreshing morning runs, organizing everything, and playing practical jokes on her students. Her favorite foods are chocolate, protein shakes, and natto. Mayumi has a fluffy orange cat named Hepburn that lives at the clinic, and Mayumi's hair color was inspired by Felicia Day. I did not know that. That's kind of funny. I like Felicia Day. As for her favorite hangout hangouts. She loves Fudogawa Park to work out together and going for a walk at the Kabuto River. She'll say, I didn't know I could have that much fun with someone else. That's how you know she loved it. She likes having tea at the tea house, getting dinner at Naka, and getting noodles at Got Nudes. She's neutral about chatting at the tea house and getting drinks and checking out the coin machines at the pub. We don't have information on her dislikes or really any information at this time on any of the gifts that she likes. Next, we have Melody Barrett, who owns the Cutting Edge Salon. Originally hailing from London, Melody moved to Japan on a whim with her boyfriend about 10 years ago. Many life lessons, a breakup, and lots of hard work, citizenship, and one beautification certification later, Melody finally landed in Sunnyside 8 years ago and never looked back. Never one to shy away from a good story, Melody will happily tell you all of her life over a glass of wine and some pastries, though she may embellish a bit. Melody likes bright colors, fashion, a good story, especially good gossip, and perfecting her art as a hairstylist. She dislikes tension and conflict, criticism, and rude guests. Her hobbies include romance novels, Mexican soap operas, reality TV from the States and the UK, and yoga with Mayumi. Her favorite food is fish and chips, curry, and pickles. Melody's favorite places to hang out are getting noodles at Got Nudes, having coffee or a romantic dinner at Naka, getting drinks at the pub, enjoying time together at the Oaken Waters, watching a romance movie at Real Good Films, hanging out at the Promenade, having tea at the tea house, going shopping at Final Fantasy, and hanging out at Umi Park. She likes Fudogawa Park hangout, Hana Gardens hangout, Kabuyu River romantic walk, Kokyo Park hangout, watching TV at her home, having lunch at Naka, hanging out at the Oaken Waters, watching an action movie or a comedy movie, building a sandcastle together or watching the sunset at the Promenade, and listening to music at Final Fantasy. Neutral about a romantic dinner at Got Nudes, the Higashi campgrounds, having dinner at her house or having dinner at Naka. She really dislikes taking a long hike at the campgrounds and watching a horror movie at Real Good Film. Her favorite gifts are a Choco Banana, Cosmos, Feisty Axolotl Plushie-chan, or a Sapphire. She's neutral about honey, mochi, and strawberry ice cream, and we don't have information about what she dislikes. Next, we have Natalie Takahashi. Natalie is a journalism student at the university, and she works at Naka while she has several other jobs, and she's the older sister of Kat. Natalie was born and raised in Sunnyside, and when she was 10 years old, Sunnyside Elementary School closed down and her family moved to the city. Now 21, Natalie has moved back to her ancestral family home in Sunnyside following the death of her grandparents. She is in her last years of university and pursuing a degree in journalism. She's always loved writing, and studying journalism was the most respectable way she could chase down her dreams while still pleasing her parents. Natalie lives with her younger sister Kat, who is also a student at the university. Natalie is much more conservative than her sister, and their differences have only grown over the past few years. Natalie hopes to teach her sister how to take life seriously. Natalie likes organization, lists, routines, and structure. She dislikes mess, being spontaneous, and being judged by others. Natalie does not have any hobbies. Between studying for school and caring for her family at home and the cleaning up after Kat, she doesn't have much time for herself. She does have a very extensive nighttime self-care routine that no one is allowed to interrupt ever. Her favorite foods are generally healthy, simple meals, including a bowl of rice with egg, salad, and tea. Natalie loves chatting and having tea at the tea house. She likes getting noodles at Got Nudes and hanging out at Hana Gardens. She's neutral about getting drinks at the pub, and she really dislikes going fishing. We don't have information about her favorite gifts, but we do know she is neutral about candy apples, dorayaki, large iced coffee, mocha, and strawberry. Moving right along to Parsa. Parsa works at the Ladybug's Delight Garden Center. Parsa is younger than his sister, Anahita. His father, Soda, is Japanese and his mother immigrated from Iran. Despite high athletic achievements in every sport he touched, Parsa never excelled academically like his sister and had a bit of a falling out with his parents as a teenager. He ran away from home at 14, determined to fight his own way in life, away from the pressures of his family. He spent this time discovering himself, visiting his mother's homeland, and picking up various martial arts around the world. Eventually, he realized that his calling was back at home, so he returned to his incredibly relieved mother and resentful father. He's been living and working with them for the past 4 years while he saves the money to open a dojo to teach his unique style of martial arts. Parsa enjoys listening to dance music, honesty, compliments, and hands-on learning. He dislikes silence, speculating, and what-if scenarios, and being ordered around. His hobbies include weight training, practicing his katas, listening to loud music, and watching action movies. His favorite foods are meat, protein shakes, and miso soup. Parsa loves buying a special outfit together at Debonair, having a romantic dinner at Got News, enjoying quality time going camping or going for a long hike at the Higashi campgrounds, going for a romantic walk at Kabuto River, getting coffee at Naka, checking out the coin machines or hanging out or playing in the arcade at the Never Fret pub, seeing a horror movie at Real Good Films, SunnySide Promenade to build a sandcastle or go for a romantic walk, listening to music at Final Fantasy, and having dinner or chatting at his house. He likes going shopping at Debonair, hanging out at the park, getting noodles, hanging out at the Hana Garden, going camping or a short hike at the campground, quality time together at the river, hanging out at the park, having a romantic dinner at Naka or at the Never Fret pub, enjoying quality time together at Raccoon Lake, hanging out or watching the sunset together at the promenade, chatting or hanging out at the tea house, shopping at Final Fantasy, or watching a movie at his house. He's neutral about all the fishing locations, and he dislikes getting drinks at the pub. His favorite gifts are a dahlia and okonomiyaki. He also likes spinach salad, is neutral about edamame, fig juice, red wine, and spicy curry. We don't know what he dislikes. Next, we have Ryan Mezacoo. Ryan is a professor at Higashi University. He was born and raised in Virginia in the United States and has been interested in photography for as long as he can remember. For him, it was always easier to interact with the world through a lens rather than directly, and social conventions like dating have always confused him. After completing a master's degree in photography in the US, Ryan decided he wanted to see the world, so he hopped from university to university in his early 20s, working as an adjunct professor in the cities that interested him. He came to SunnySide about 5 years ago and never really found a reason to leave. Ryan loves vinyl records, architecture when the lighting is just exactly right. He dislikes people who won't stop talking or anyone who pesters him when he's trying to work. His favorite hobbies include running his Urbex Instagram, exploring abandoned buildings, and collecting vinyl. His favorite foods is green tea and ice cream. He also gave Lucy her first camera. He likes to hang out at all possible locations to take pictures together, getting noodles at Got News, playing with animals at Higashi Pet Rescue, getting dinner at Naka, and seeing an action movie at Real Good Film. He likes going for a walk on the river, getting coffee, getting drinks at the Never Fret pub, chatting or having tea at the tea house, and going shopping for records. We don't really have any information about what he dislikes. Ryan's favorite gifts are a candy apple and a carnelian. He also likes Beaufort. He is neutral about aquamarine, chocolate ice cream, emerald, mushrooms, picky sticks, salt, and strawberries. He dislikes grass. Next, we have Ryozo Hara. He is the one that runs the local research center. The local research center run by the university went mostly unused until Ryozo started making inquiries he could use to further his research in botany and entomology. Ryozo cares deeply for the planet and its longevity. He has also dedicated his life to protecting it in his own special way. He's created eco-friendly weed and pest management systems that protect biodiversity. Ryozo likes plants, bugs, reading, and fresh air. He dislikes injustice and the destruction of the planet through global warming, along with chemicals in our food and poor agricultural practices. His hobbies include reading, learning to cook, and hiking. His favorite foods are milk bread, bacon, and tempura. His favorite places to hang out are all the fishing spots, Hana Gardens. He likes going camping at the campgrounds, hanging out at the pub, and going for a walk at the promenade. He likes getting noodles, getting drinks at the pub, hanging out at the promenade, and chatting or having tea at the tea house. He is totally neutral about coffee or dinner at Naka, also playing in the arcade or checking out the coin machines at the pub, and he dislikes watching horror movies or action movies at Real Good Film. His favorite gifts are Feisty Cake Plushie-chan, Jade, Marigold, and Yakisoba. He likes fishing lures as well, and he is neutral about lemon and toothache. We don't have information about what he dislikes. Next, we have Sebastian Nakamura. Sebastian is the son of Hina Nakamura, and he's one of the few younger members of SunnySide that was actually born and raised in the town. He had a fairly happy childhood from what he can remember, and he's always aspired to become a writer someday, even going so far as to chase his dreams at the university in Tokyo with a very prestigious writing program. He left those dreams behind just before his second year, however, when his mother was diagnosed with a disease that severely impacted her business and marriage. Now 20, Seb is doing his best to help keep his mother's restaurant open, though her strong personality and his aloof nature doesn't always mix well. Sebastian likes coffee, deep conversations, watching the trees and clouds as they move in the wind, and his mother's smile. He dislikes rigid rules, being forced to go against his values, long-term planning, and being criticized. His hobbies include writing poetry, brewing, and studying coffee. His favorite foods are coffee and anything citrus and fruity, including mango. I did not know this, but Sebastian's artistic character was actually inspired by Yusuke from Persona 5. That's freaking awesome. I love Yusuke. This explains why we get along so well as friends, me and Sebastian. Sebastian's favorite places to hang out are all the places that you can write poetry together, pick flowers, watch the cherry blossoms, or build a snowman. He likes going for a walk or enjoying quality time together at the park, having a romantic dinner at Got Nudes, anything romantic really, romantic walk, romantic dinner, enjoying quality time together, volunteering together at Higashi Pet Rescue, having a chat or coffee at his house, going for a walk or building a sandcastle, watching the sunset at the promenade, having dinner at the tea house, or enjoying quality time together. He also likes hanging out at Debonair, all the campground activities, lunch, dinner, arcade or coin machines at the pub, watching a romantic movie or comedy at Real Good Films, hanging out at the promenade, chatting or having tea at the tea house, and hanging out at Umi Park. He does not like action or horror. His favorite gifts include Cosmos, Emerald, Lemon, the Sad Yakitori Plushie-chan, Takoyaki, and Toothache. He's neutral about apple juice, large iced coffee, red wine, and strawberry. And we don't have information about what he disliked. Next we have Stephanie Obeng. Stephanie is a business student at Higashi University. Stephanie is Fuku's younger sister, and she moved to Japan with her family when she was around 9. This move wasn't easy for Stephanie, and she was teased quite a bit for looking different, but her Japanese roots and natural charisma helped her adapt to the language and culture fairly quickly. She decided very early on that she would always stay true to herself, and she's never looked back. Lately, however, Stephanie's been feeling a bit lost in life. Currently pursuing a business degree, and she's just not sure what she wants to be when she grows up. For now, is just happy being herself until inspiration strikes. Stephanie likes setting small goals and achieving them, random adventures, and proving herself physically. She dislikes arrogance and conflict. Her hobbies include soccer, knife throwing. Her favorite foods are jollof rice, but only when her dad makes it. Stephanie's favorite places to hang out are going to Debonair and getting a special outfit together, volunteering at Higashi Pet Rescue, seeing a horror movie at Real Good Films, chatting or having tea at the tea house, and playing in the arcade at the Never Fret pub. She is neutral about getting drinks or dinner at the pub. We don't have information about what she dislikes. As far as her favorite gifts, we don't have any about what she loves, but she likes getting a steel knife. She's neutral about chrysanthemums, and she dislikes strawberries. Alright. Next we have Yukio Yamaguchi. A true extrovert, Yukio is always bouncing around and looking for new ways to use up her energy. She's not native to SunnySide, having only moved to town about 12 years ago when she married into the Yamaguchi family. Though the marriage didn't quite work out, Yukio still works with her ex-husband Hideyo at the post office that has been run by his family since SunnySide was first founded over 300 years ago. Though that doesn't always go so well, but don't let her appearance fool you. Yukio is direct, honest, and an indulgent woman with a sharp mind and an even sharper tongue. She likes any social activity, online gaming, and putting people in their place. She dislikes lies, even small white ones, planning too far into the future, and following rules for no reason. Her hobbies are video games of all types, first-person shooters, MMOs, RPGs, life sims, etc. She also likes reading manga and hanging out at Josh's bar. Her favorite food is snack foods, pizza, and pocky. Yukio loves hanging out at Got Nudes to get noodles, going for a walk at the Kabuyu River, playing in the arcade at the Never Fret pub, chatting at the tea house, hanging out at Umi Park, or playing video games in her home. She also likes getting coffee at Naka. She's neutral about having tea at the tea house. We really don't know what she dislikes just yet. Gifts, we really don't have very much. We only know that she's neutral about picky sticks. Alright, next we have Yumma Shibata, which Yumma is the owner of Shibata Mill. He moved to SunnySide about 20 years ago to take over the small grain mill that had been passed through his family for generations. Though he didn't grow up in SunnySide, he was one of the last remaining Shibata descendants, and he didn't have many other prospects in life. Since then, Yumma has made a very happy life for himself and could never dream of leaving, especially now that Zander Wyatt is working with him. In general, Yumma is a bit of a jokester and a clown and often helps Mayumi pull off various pranks on her students. He's always happy and charming, and you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone in town who doesn't consider him a good friend. Yumma is a connoisseur of horrible dad jokes. He loves getting a good night's sleep after a day of work and getting together with friends. He dislikes rigid and sterile environments and lack of stimulation. His hobbies include meeting up with friends and collecting records. His favorite food is fresh baked bread and homemade jam and butter. Although he is known to his fans as Yummy and Grain Daddy, it is unconfirmed if his fellow SunnySide residents also call him by these names. His favorite places to hang out are all possible locations to listen to music. He loves having tea and chatting at the tea house and going shopping or listening to music at Vinyl Fantasy Records. He also likes going for a walk at Kabuya River. We don't have any information about the hangouts he dislikes, but I will update. And then really we don't have very much information as far as gifts either. He's neutral about spearmint tea or yakisoba. And last but certainly not least, we have Zander Wyatt. A former member of the United States Navy, Zander moved to SunnySide when his parents suddenly died in a car accident just weeks after his contract ended. Completely lost and unsure what to do with his life, Zander decided to travel to the Japanese countryside on his own for a while. During that time, he stumbled upon SunnySide and never left. He now works with Yumma at the Shibata Mill near the lake, and he's settled in quite nicely over the last year. He's a bit intimidating looking, so most of the residents give him lots of space, which he doesn't mind at all. Zander loves calm, warm breezes, helping people and making others smile. He dislikes alcohol, pineapple, and flowers as gifts. His hobbies include scuba diving, and his favorite foods are macaroni and cheese and salmon. Zander loves a lot of different places to hang out, all possible locations to snowball fight, watch the stars, go for a romantic walk, pick flowers, or watch the cherry blossoms together. He loves buying a special outfit together at Debonair, enjoying quality time, getting noodles at Got Nudes, enjoying quality time together at Hana Gardens, all possible activities at the campgrounds, all possible activities at the pet rescue, quality time or romantic walks on the river, or at the park, having dinner or a romantic dinner at Naka, hanging out, playing in the arcade, enjoying quality time together, or having a romantic dinner at the pub. He loves watching a romantic movie at Real Good Films. He's quite the romantic, Zander. He loves hanging out at the promenade, going for a walk or watching the sunset, having dinner at the tea house, all possible activities at the park, all possible activities at Vinyl Fantasy Records, and having dinner or baking together at his home. He dislikes having drinks at the Never Fret pub and watching a horror movie at Real Good Films. Zander's favorite gifts that he loves are amethyst or red bean takoyaki. He likes baking pans, lemonade, or yogurt, and we don't have information about what he dislikes. Alright, and that was super long, but we made it through. That's all I have for you today, guys. There is no marriage currently in SunnySide. There's no way to, get married and have kids. Right now, being someone's partner is the extent of the romance. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found something useful about it. It did take me a really long time to put together. So if you did, I'd really appreciate a like. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.